I tend to be an all-in kind of person. Regular viewers of my channel know that I'm vegan. I'm vegan for health reasons. And when I made that decision, it was just one day I was eating meat and drinking cow milk. And the next day, zero, zip, none of it. And if you're struggling with your budget, if you'd like to get better at your budget, today's video is for you, because I'm going to talk about some cold turkey things that you might want to consider doing to help jumpstart your budgeting and to help you be more successful at meeting whatever your savings goal is. And you know, the first thing is, you know, in the United States, we're a very materialistic society, right? I tell people when I'm describing US culture that one of the aspects of our culture is he or she with the most toys wins, right? But you know, the problem with toys is A, they're expensive. And the question is, do you own your stuff or does your stuff own you? And if you're ready for freedom from owning all of this stuff, that a lot of it, maybe you don't even know why you own it anymore, and you'd like to be able to save more money, I'm going to share with you a couple things that I've done that I've found to be super helpful for me, and I hope you find it helpful for you as well. And the first is, I really encourage you to think about having what I call a no spend day of the week, whatever day of the week it is for you, where you see, can you go the whole day without spending anything, right? If you can do that one day, if you can do that 2 days of the week, you know, the rest of the week is a lot easier to spend less money if you start off with thinking about no spend days, right? And you do free activities. You go to the park. Maybe you and your partner, you and your friends go for a nice picnic at the park. You sit down, you read a book under a tree. You invite a friend over for coffee, and you have coffee at the dining room table, and you make a nice glass of coffee or tea for you. You read a book, you go for a hike, you go road biking if you have a road bike. Just things like that, I think can be super, super helpful for you. Another thing, like for me, I'm into learning languages. And so maybe you have a good book or a good podcast. I can tell you there's a podcast called Accelerated Spanish. My thing is Spanish. And the founder of that company's name is Timothy Moser, M-O-S-E-R. The podcasts are free. That's a great way to spend some time on your no spend days. The other thing, just in general, getting away from the no spend, but just slowing down the spend. You know, have fun picking out the highest quality, the best piece of equipment for you, whatever you're buying. And, you know, spend the time, actually read the reviews. You know, a lot of us use Amazon, so read the reviews on Amazon. Find out, you know, what you can about the product, and really take joy in seeing if you can get the right product the first time. And, you know, give yourself the liberty that if you're not wowed by it, you know, don't tell Bezos I told you this, but return it, right? If you're not wowed by it, why would you keep it, right? I'd rather spend 20% more, 30% more and have something that I'm wowed by. I want fewer things, but higher quality in my stuff. Okay, another one is just thinking about the difference between needs and wants. And you know, the reality is we're very fortunate here in the United States. Most of what we buy are wants. And how many things are we really going to want later? And particularly if you're charging things on your credit card and then not paying it off later, right? How many of us would like to earn 15, 20, 25% on an extra $1,000 a month? You know I would. And if you can avoid carrying a balance on your credit card, because that's essentially, if you're carrying a balance, that's what you're paying the credit card companies, most likely, because credit cards are very expensive debt. So if you're not paying off your credit card every month, think about maybe not using your credit card for a while. That's another thing that can be super, super helpful. Another thing, when you travel, for instance, that's one of the things that I like to do. When I travel, think about, you know, rather than do some super expensive things. Now, you know, if you're in Peru, you should go to Machu Picchu, and that's going to take some money, right? These are some of the 7 wonders of the world, and you should do those things. But you know what? Also, when you're on a trip like that, you know, a little bit of tourist stuff goes a long way. And I have found, you know, hanging out at a coffee shop, hanging out at a restaurant, and trying to strike up a conversation with locals can be really, really rewarding. And for a lot of us also, renting a car when we travel, the United States or outside of the United States, can be a pain and can be super expensive. And, you know, now with Google Maps and Apple Maps and other tools, other transit tools, it's easier than ever to think about, you know, could I use public transit? For instance, I'll turn around and let you see the sunset here. Actually, the lighting's pretty good here, so I'll do it this way. You know, where I'm at now, to get from the airport to where I'm at now in the Northwest United States, is about an $80 Uber ride. But you know how much the bus costs me? Just the regular public transit. Picks up right at the airport, drops off about a mile from where my youngest daughter lives. It's $3.50, right? So just think about the money that saves me every time I come to see her. And you know, because you see me recording from here quite often, you know, I'm up here fairly frequently. And if I had to pay $80 to an Uber to get up here and $80 to go back, you know, I probably wouldn't come here as often, right? That would be almost as much as my round trip airfare. So using public transit, thinking about the things that really give you joy. And I'm all for buying the things that give you joy, but just think about, you know, how many cardboard boxes maybe show up at your house every day, every week, and how much of that do you really need? And, you know, I think I've shared in the past in my videos that three years ago during the pandemic, my wife and I made the decision to sell our house and to downsize. We were in a fairly big house with our kids when our kids were living at home. And as we got the house ready to sell one summer, and then it didn't sell that summer, but it sold the following summer. So we had two springtimes where we were basically getting rid of a lot of stuff in our house. And we were shocked at how much stuff that we had in the house. And, you know, it was a lot of work to find a good home for that. You know, we didn't want to just throw it away. And we wanted it to go to a good home. You know, we had a garage sale, but garage sales only sell so much, even though we tried to give a lot of it away to the people that came to the garage sale. So finding a good home. And I got to tell you, the freedom that I feel now, not having all that stuff. When I travel with a light suitcase. We've downsized quite a bit in our house, and we just own less stuff. And it's an incredible feeling of freedom, and it'll help you reach your financial goals sooner. And before you know it, you'll be one of the 22 million people that are millionaires in the United States and set up for your retirement. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs for likes, subs for love, and comments for Azul. And if you like this video, I know you're going to like this video up here where I talk about the average income in retirement, and this video down here where I talk about 5 reasons to retire as soon as you can. Thanks for watching.